Yes, Darwinism sucks. No, before you start jumping to the conclusion that I suddenly converted to Christianity or whatever, I'm referring to the label of Darwinism. Darwinism, Darwinist, Darwinisms. You know the stuff. Adding a suffix to a guy's name to imply that you're following a particular ideology. Even though that the theory of evolution has been pretty proven by now, you're asking for a flip book of the fossil records. For fossil records, where it'll say a horn in the forehead. You're asking for, which you're not going to get because that's not how evolution works. I want web fingers. No, just no. The term Darwinism is a ploy used to make it seem like atheism is necessarily requiring a belief. However, a person who believes in evolution is Darwinist in the same way that those who think Lee Harvey Oswald assassinated JFK are Oswaldians. For example, I believe that worlds of fiction are merely a window into other worlds, so I wish to be called a fictionalist. You see how ridiculous that is? Anyway, a person can believe in evolution and creationism, as evolution is merely explains the diversity, and not, I repeat, that, not the origin of life. So the terms creationist and Darwinist are not mutually exclusive in any real way. Now, I might hear you talk about evolution says we came from monkeys, and the Bible says God created man. That's a contradiction. You're right and you're wrong. Evolution says we came from apes, not monkeys. But it is a contradiction. On one hand, we have science, which is the growing knowledge of mankind. It's not some kind of religion, it's not some kind of spectacular progress or sort of thing. It's simply the growing knowledge and the further study of the world around us. That means it can be flawed, can be wrong. However, that's usually quickly corrected. Science is fact. That's pretty much it. Anyway, and on the other hand, we have desert dwellers. People who believe that Magic Man did it. Dumbledore has an even more impressive beard. And that might go a long way to explaining God's homophobia. Something to look into. Anyway, here's a contradiction for you. Well, it's not a contradiction. We'll see. You're scientifically ahead of its time religious texts. That includes Jews, Buddhists, Muslims, uh, all that sort of stuff. Yeah. If your holy texts were so scientifically ahead of its times, despite being before mankind have discovered things like atoms, molecules, or DNA, how come no one figured that out until after people have discovered this sort of stuff? You think with all the people reading the texts that someone would have clued in? You had a couple thousand years head start on modern times here. All you have are vague phrases that can be taken in multiple ways, and you just claim that those are scientific facts in the Bible. Like the iron myth in the Quran. Phil Hellions, yeah. I'll put a link there in the comment box to the video. Smart guy. Definitely worth checking out. Anyway, where were we? Well, moving on. On to a more important matter. In the UK, I think 2011, and no, I'm not talking about some Olympic event, though I am sure that will have Olympian-sized consequences. The Organization of Islamic Congress is trying to bring about a resolution at the Human Rights Council against defamation of religion. In other words, make it a hate crime to say anything bad about religion, even the ones that cause buildings to go kablooey. Seriously, these are the last people we want deciding human rights, because they don't know what a human right is, besides an inconvenience for them. These are the people who hide their women by disguising them as mobile piles of laundry. In fact, you get the impression that Beardy McMuhammad Pants was a bit uncomfortable with the opposite sex. In the same way that John Wayne Gacy Jr. had to be put down for murdering small boys while dressed as a clown. The only difference being that Gacy had the audacity not to keep entire countries in the Stone Age, where more people were killed because of his exceedingly primitive laws than over 1,000 John Wayne Gacy's. This is the guy who was given lethal injection here. If this kind of bill passes, we're fucked. Because if they can make it illegal in multiple countries to even criticize religion, then how much further until Islam attempts global domination? This is the religion of peace, where all those extremists, Muslim extremists, are using their religious texts to actually kill people. People who've done nothing but enter a building. You think if Allah or Muhammad had actually cared or even existed? Yes, I'm questioning Muhammad's existence. Anyway, you'd think they'd have taken steps to avoid some kind of, you know, misunderstanding. Particularly if it's so blatant that people can actually justify mass murder. How is that a religion of peace? Unless, of course, you mean peace in the quiet sense. In which case, yeah, if you blow up the planet, it will be pretty quiet afterwards. Anyway, check out the videos in the comment box. These people are pretty smart. Definitely worth listening to, at least. And yes, I'm halfway through Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone. Won't be long.